Put a bit of buying in the dollar. Missed my entry at 33.75. Error. We're trying to rent some people right now.
When did this become the Rosa Parks chat?
Yesterday.
Oh, apparently yesterday.
The hell did I miss here?
Oh, because Fat Cat's put it all in the back.
Oh shit. That's kind of jokes.
The revolution, Specs.
Are you going to join?
Can't we just, hold on, can't we just say no?
Say no what?
Can't we just say no to Fat Cat? Isn't that what Rosa Parks did?
No to drugs? Nobody says no to drugs.
No, no
drugs?
to giving away our seat.
I mean, yeah, we could say no, but I could just change it too. I don't need to do all that. I think he's just waiting for me to change it, but I'm unwilling to.
I liked it better when we were just shit shovelers and peasants. At least it was simple.
So you're saying black people are worse than shit shovelers and peasants?
No, it was simpler. Damn, that is one hell of an interpretation there, Zero. Where the fuck are you coming up with these ideas?
Peak Asian racism there.
Yeah.
What type of Asian?
I just said peak Asian racism. I did not say what kind of Asian.
Taiwanese.
Nah, he doesn't know. Fucking Risky doesn't know what kind of Asian Zero is.
He doesn't know what he was talking about. How you're Asian too, right? Oh
yeah,
fuck.
I am technically Asian. Middle East is Asia.
Yes.
Close
give
enough,
up.
right, Specs? Throw it
I
there.
give up.
Yo, dude, what is this bullshit consolidation? Come on, market, go up. Don't be a little bitch.
It is going up.
Fucking
Dude,
bull
who's long at the
trend
bottom?
Specs.
We should have a pullback a little bit.
Not
a
me.
Tiny one. Or at least there it goes. A little bit more. There it goes. That's all, folks.
Isn't there news at 10:30, by the way? Like some bond purchases?
I can tell you that if they're buying bonds at these prices, that's pretty cheap for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you own a bond. You know, it's not like, I don't know, it's not the best thing to buy, I'd say. But
I mean, at these yields, it's pretty fine.
yeah, it's Fed Treasury purchases 2.25 to 30 years. Yep. That's the only news in the
Jesus,
morning.
the dollar's just relentlessly going up. And so is yes. Or do I take off my long hair or not? Nope. What are you leaning on, Specs? There we go.
What do you mean leaning on?
Are you short or long?
Oh, I'm not. I'm flat.
Biased.
Oh, right now I'm long biased. I was short biased, but then if the market made
Yes. What's your upper target you have? Oh shit! They came back to stop me out. Oh, break even. Copy. Oh, this looks good though. We're really waiting for NQ to do its thing. NQ is for some reason weaker today.
Haven't you heard the China news?
Yeah.
Well, then why are you surprised?
Well, I guess should still follow, unless they really think this is the bear
I mean-
market rally is over.
I mean, like, if bonds, like, first of all, like, majority of those companies are leveraged in NQ to the tits, except for, like, Apple. It's not very nice to have a asset which has depreciating cash flows. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like, from an investor standpoint, it's makes sense why they're selling. An app like Tesla, one of their major markets for expansion is China, and if basically there's capital controls, well, that's not going to be very profitable for Tesla. It's basically a policy thing, so, or geopolitics.
We just rotated the open. That's it.
Just watch what they're rotating into.
Well, it's shooting up really high now.
Apple's down 1.42%, Nvidia down 2.23%. Or this is up. I don't know if that's updated. Check. This. Well, oil companies are up, and cat is up. Some industrials. Basically, it's the industrial leg that's holding this up on S&P.
New highs on the day for NQ. Another new high for NQ. There goes NQ leading to the upside again, but but NQ just got up to 91.25, which is or almost to 91.25, which is 50% of the gap. So just be careful. This could reject. ES tested the half the gap really fast, but NQ just did it. We'll look at Macy's, guys.
Isn't Macy's consumer staple?
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
What's going on with it?
Okay.
How the fuck did you spell? What's the ticker for Macy's?
Just M.
M?
Yeah, it's fucking amazeballs.
They had good earnings, really good earnings. High yields slightly trading up right now. I think we're going to have a gap close in high yield and then reverse, to be honest. They had dividends payments yesterday. That's why they had to rip down on high yields, if anyone's paying mind to that. Why do I have 11,906.50 marked on my chart? On NQ? I can't see why I have it marked.
I don't know. Damn, NQ's ripping.
There's heavy seller there at 650. What the fuck? Okay. The fuck?
This should come back to 39.50. At least.
Yeah, I think 39.50 is a reasonable place for it to go down to.
Or not get down to 39.50.
Might be like an overshoot. Like NQ is entering its low volume area at 916. Don't know if ES has the same. Yeah, ES has the same right here at 44.25. So between 44 and 47 should be a potential reversal short term.
Well, so far, all three scenarios, you don't know which one to choose because they're all about right there. So take your pick, guys. Take your pick.
Tabbed it now at 906 short on NQ. I'm gonna take risk off at 94, half of it, and then let the rest of it rip.
Oh.
I get it. Running a 10-point stop on this one. Risk off. Stopped, moved to 96 flat. Well, 906, excuse me. We'll close another quarter at VWAP. So 85. I closed it earlier at 87 now. Still holding the last quarter.
I was short at the top. I closed it just now at VWAP.
That's good. Fucking balls deep, man. That's good, man. Then you actually held it.
Yeah, I think if it breaks below VWAP, we going. But I'm like, okay, I'm happy.
Yeah. But like, you just need to scale off some so you're comfortable with holding, and then move your stop so you can't lose money on the rest. Then you're fine. See, it's going like.
It was a value area high of the overnight session and a LVA. That's why I entered.
Exactly. Quality setup there, John. I'm gonna take off everything except a little bit here on NQ. I don't trust this shit. Looks like it's gonna fade. Yeah. Just holding 4 lots on NQ left. Moved my stop to 90 flat. Oh, sorry, 11,900s. What should come here, take my stop, and then fucking insta flash down.
48 more seconds for this 30-minute bar. It was a lot of buying though.
That was a nice stop there. Thank you. I entered specifically at 11,906. Entry time was 3:54 East Central European time, Cosmo, since you're in the same time zone. On the pullback there, I entered, not the first. Should have had more size though, so it was perfect.
I guess we're going for the gap fill.
I mean, either gap fill or it's going for the high there at 47 on ES and what's that, 16, 17? Yeah, on NQ. Or it's gap fill. It's too aggressive to be this unless it's going to be an overshoot. Can't stay like this early. Where's gap fill at? Is it 925 on NQ? Like the absolute low?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
What was the question? Sorry.
Absolute low was 925, right, on NQ for gap fill?
Yesterday's low?
Yeah.
I have 924.75. So 24.75.
Yeah. At the tick on NQ, that's like
nothing.
Yeah. Yes, should have closed it now. It has.
Yeah.
Be careful if you try to short it here, by the way. Like, it has a high EV to trace back based on the momentum. If people start selling and taking profits, sure, but like it's a scalp really, and treat it as such. You can see there's a heavy absorption at 47 on on ES. Sorry, 47 and 46.75. So they're both like limit selling and market selling at that price. So someone either got out or started shorting there, rather aggressively.
Cosmo, are you still in your long, or you say you got out? Okay.
And yes, I am short this one at 26 on NQ. Not major size, just a scalp. Did not get to take anything off because it was too quick down to 15. Fuck. Well, this might hurt. Yep. Jesus fucking Christ. That was fucking close. You guys were targeting 39.50, right?
Cosmo, watch the dollar before you think you want to do that, right? Pick it, the dollar needs an area where you think it'll reverse. And I think the dollar can get down to like 763. I think this is a critical area for ES. So, watch that. Fuck. That's not the one I want. There we go. Do I have this? Oh, shit. There it is. So I know I didn't tell you this, Cosmo. But if you look at what we did in ES and why it's so important, and why, if you look at the pre-market thing, and I'm not just talking to Cosmo, but overall, we rejected on the previous week's low, whereas NQ never got up there. And that's why I was really confused as to why NQ was so low. Now, we just got there again, and we broke it, but that's because NQ is dragging everyone up. NQ just hit its previous week's low. And now not every not every previous week's low is but you have to kind of pay attention to all of those things at the same time.
That was I tried to get in short there. I just didn't get it, unfortunately.
I've already scaled out half my position on NQ short. I take another quarter off here at 9:05. Fuck happened there?
You're right at prior week's low and yesterday's low. So yesterday's low is right 3943. So we're just bouncing between that right now.
Thank you, good sir. And I am just a quarter left. Now it's risk-free. Gonna put my stop at 9:22 and then let it rip. Be right back, I'm going to the toilet. This is fucking certain death here.
Harvey, capital flow is hard. It's very hard. But it gives you a lot of supporting factors, which is why I personally like it. And it gives you reasons why it's not just, oh, this is bouncing here because of this or that, you know. That's just my 2 cents, though.
He's trying to complete the gap, I guess.
Dude, Harvey, it's a really good entry. I don't know why you got out. I mean, I guess I can see why, but you never really got you didn't get spooked, Harvey. You got out because you didn't get spooked. Being spooked means it was rotating your level, it was going back and forth. No, you got out because you wanted profit. You wanted a win. So, you know, if you're going to critique yourself, which is fine, which you should, but be mindful of what you're saying, right? You didn't get spooked. You wanted a green. You were trying to ensure you had a win.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I got spooked because I really only got a 6-tick drawdown on if I had held, and
So you didn't get spooked.
I took like a 3-tick win instead. It was very foolish, very very foolish.
I mean, if you want to talk about like, I mean, I entered.
Got it. I want to know exactly.
No, I can see it. It's RCH, right?
Oh.
Huh? $8.55. Okay. No, it's fine. I see it. Yeah.
It's that bottom. Actually, in the market, like so, I got spooked. Look at all this chop sideways before it actually. The thing, so I actually got spooked once. I would have got spooked twice, times.
Harvey,
4 times.
I got long,
and then I'm gonna be on.
No, I know, but I got long at 28. I was well in the money. It came all the way back against me, and then I'm well in the money, and it comes all the way back against me. But if you're gonna hold anything long, that's just what it's gonna be, right?
I know. I've had such a drought. Is exactly what you said. I've had such a drought, and I've just not want to fucking at it.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying, I get it. And
this market, like this environment, last week or whatever, two even, it's not been very conducive. Letting shit come back to your. When it did come back the fourth time at like 9:39, I was like, "Fuck, that was such a good entry," because it came back for.
Yep.
To it.
I mean,
numbers. Look at that one.
It did 48 though, eh? 40. It's close enough.
Don't tell me that isn't funny. Numbers.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I sent something in private, both to Harvey. That should lighten. It's not friendly and therefore, so I'm not gonna send it out. And
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't you agree, Harvey?
I don't even know if he's.
I'm uncomfortable.
It's pretty heavy duty, man.
It's funny though. You can boast it if you want to, Harvey. I don't want to be the aggressive one today. I just thought it was right up your alley in terms of humor. Howdy, numbers. You alive or you living dead?
Founded.
On
We
another bike?
started running some tests fully live on micros, even though we're technically not fully ready to go. Found another
Why are you
small
doing
little bug.
Why is it's not ready to go then?
Well, the pipeline and everything is fully built. When I say it's not ready to go, the only thing on which we're waiting is the third data feed, because we have 2 data feeds and 2 execution platforms, and we're waiting for the third data feed. So that's the only reason why we're not ready.
Right, that's absolutely necessary.
What?
Absolutely necessary to have the third. Such as
Yeah, it's more or less a backup mechanism to ensure everything runs smoothly, because the third data vendor is arguably the largest and best data vendor for all securities.
What's
DX
the hold up? You got to clear your check or what?
The holdup is they only predominantly work with institutional clients, so therefore they have to give us specialized pricing, and that specialized pricing then has to be approved.
I don't trust you guys.
Well, granted, their client, we're a little fish in the sea, and I have a connect.
Right.
I know
so
a few people
like,
there.
Fuck off. It's like paying a tenant to leave. That sounds great. One of the best ways to get rid of a tenant, want to leave them. Everybody's like, that's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, well, months. I'd rather give them the $1,000 now.
But serious, if they're planning to run it and they're planning to not look at it actively, they need multiple feeds for security reasons.
Oh, we have 2 data and execution feeds, and then we now are adding in DX feed for the third. DX feed arguably provides the best and most stable data.
It's like ICE?
It's a different data provider.
Anything under the sea, DX feed supplies the largest brokerage firms their data. This connection is rock solid. They almost never have outages. CQG is a last resort. I'm not particularly fond of CQG, but the preliminary means of execution is TT for data and execution. The backup, if orders aren't routing, are CQG. And then the third data feed backup is going to be DX feed. We were looking into pretty much a third party for data and execution backup. But the main integrated data and execution platforms are going to be TT or CQG. Deviating outside of that, it starts to become more complex with solutions.
Oh, how nice. It came back up, slapped my stop on the last quarter I had, and then came back down. Well, RV. Like, you know, when it wicks up for less than 2 seconds and takes out your stop and then goes right back down. Beautiful.
What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
What's the problem?
No. I
Were
simply
you
don't.
looking at what I sent you?
No. I simply don't believe what I see. That's what I'm saying. What the
I'll be right back.
uh, 30, 120. Um, okay. Ooh. Well, I think, Harvey, the question is, how deep's the throat? Sorry for not responding. Dingus, when you say quality over quantity, are you referring to data feeds or trades? And then second, Belisorius, it's more or less having safety mechanisms. Oh, okay. It's more or less having safety mechanisms in place in the circumstance there's an outage, because it's not uncommon that for a few moments there may be an outage on one of the feeds throughout the day. I think I have an idea of how to do this zero in Sierra chart. It would be a lot easier for me to actually code this, but
Are you thinking about back testing it too, or you're just coding it?
I'm not even putting it in Python or anything else. I'm more or less, since for you to have an alert condition set up in Sierra chart,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the future could be tested, but then that becomes a bit more complicated because then you need profit targets and everything else.
Right. When you backtest, do you backtest on Sierra or something
Oh,
else?
fuck no. God, no. Never.
Oh, Sierra is really
It
shitty.
takes forever.
What do you use to backtest?
Python. Vector VT specifically.
Is it hard to use vector ET?
There's a reasonably good repository of his videos on YouTube that provide rudimentary introductories so that you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
It will take a time commitment, to say the least.
I see. Maybe it's something I should learn because my back tests it takes fucking forever.
Yeah, I think it would be reasonably prudent. The most complicated aspect is broadcasting signals for a pipeline to actually automate a strategy. I would say everything else is not too complicated. Belisorius is in the process of learning Vector VT.
How's it going for you, Belisorius? This is. I'm gonna take it off here, I think. Yep. Capital timing seems to be off. Or no, I think it's still right, Harvey. Yeah, I still have it correct.
Another question, Zero. How many points off of a high or low is important? And I'll do a rough estimate.
Yeah.
And then it can be modified.
I was thinking, can it be percentage based?
It could be in the future. I'm just trying to have a concrete idea of if this is what you may or may not want. Would 10 points off of a high or low be adequate?
You mean after the drop or after the point? Or you mean...
So you would, let's say you're at the 4 hour or 80 hour, high, lower, low over 20 periods on a 4 hour chart. You would want price to be within 10 points or 15 points of that highest high or lowest low. And then the microstructure on a 5-minute chart to be broken within that 15-point range, I assume.
I actually want it so, like, once it... Well, I already explained to you, like, what a significant high would be.
Yeah.
Or a valuable high. And then once in the future it breaks it, I want to either have an alert and then I'll look at the microstructure once it breaks it. Because I actually want it to break, not like be close around it.
Okay. I thought you were looking for a mean reversion trade.
No. I mean, it is because I want to see what it does when it breaks it. And then I want to take it back to the downside. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hey, if you're busy, don't...
No, all I have today on my schedule is a meeting at 4 o'clock with TT, and then a meeting at 5 with TX Speed.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Belsters. Let me know if what materials you find good, because I think I need to start learning it. These backtesting shit's just killing me lately.
I have
Because
are you more of a visual learner? Sorry.
I am.
If you're not concerned about quote unquote money, I would say contact Chad Thackeray. He offers tutoring services for Vector VT and other platforms, or he'll assist with building something.
Chad is in CHAD?
I'll forward you. He has very good YouTube videos, but also he has a consultant.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Business.
Cosmo, I'm still holding, by the way. I've been trying to add this whole entire time.
Okay. Forward this.
Oh, Greyhound. Okay. Oh, chat that Grey. Okay.
Yeah. YouTube videos are excellent. But if you wanted more hands-on
Yeah.
approach,
How much does he charge?
from what I recollect, pretty reasonable at quotes I have seen from others, anywhere from 70 to 110 an hour or something.
Okay. Does he actually have like a coursework, or is it just like kind of?
He has YouTube videos, but no, there's no coursework. So,
Oh, okay. So it's more like, hey, help me do this, and it'll.
and then he will give you. Then he would provide hands-on tutoring, or he would construct a backtest engine for you, and then you could learn. You could say, "Oh, this is what I want," and then he could build that for you. After he finishes building it, he could then take several hours and explain exactly what each component does, comment it out, so you could then go back and have something where all you have to do, it becomes similar to Legos. It's plug and play. You copy this, you paste that, and so on and so forth.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be great.
I think I've generated some interesting signals for you.
You already?
Yeah.
Because I was I was just staring at the part, and I was like, I always wished I could, figure out certain ways or whatever. And I was like, wait a minute. And then I started back testing. I was like, oh, this is tedious. And then it's like also not objective or subjective, because it's like I'm seeing the whole entire chart. And with TradingView, I can't go back in time on a lower time frame to really, truly, replay or back test it. So I was like, oh, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah, you may have to take a few stabs, but
More about stabbing, dude.
I'll send you over this chart book.
Sweet, thanks. Feel free to use it on your algos or another algo of yours.
Yeah, I probably will not.
Is it too high of a time frame?
Not necessarily too high of a time frame, but it's yeah. I think there's something here which can be. I think you'll be able to work with this because it will give you a large. This is going to be a quote unquote mean reversion trade from a low or a high.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, do you how long do you think it would take someone from zero, let's just be honest, like, or be critical, zero knowledge of Python, to start coding and back testing? Like a year?
Depends on the time you commit. I think.
Well, you know me, I'm always working, so.
I think in 100 hours you could start pretty easily having some reasonably rudimentary back tests. Not anything overly complex, but in 100 hours that should be more than enough.
Makes sense. Okay. I like that.
Okay.
I just want to know because, it's not that I'm not going to, I just want to manage my own expectations. Yada, yada.
Okay, I sent you a chart book if you want to open it up and see our chart. I think you'll be reasonably happy with these signals. And then I have an idea of how you could add capital flow into this too.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Look at you. Hold on 1 second.
Actually, that would be a really easy way to integrate capital flow.
As you crack open a beer?
Yes.
Am I dropping into the data folder or another one?
Yeah, drop it into data, CR chart data folder.
All right.
Rye, you pretty much learn everything on the fly. Initially, that's what's frustrating to most people. Half of coding is really searching how to do something. It's actually a Warhead's sour green apple drink, Belisorius. Well, if you want me to overfit it to a market regime, yeah. Yeah, you can, because indicators all work in certain market regimes. I think there can be reasonably small positive expectancy if you're only using one indicator. If there's a confluence, maybe. Funny story. I received 2 payouts.
But you did
I would say
from
one is the right word, but I accidentally had a trade open going into the weekend and therefore violated the terms and conditions. But I received payouts.
ESH3.
Ooh. Expectancy actually goes down.
That's correct. It's downloading, but it's a really odd day.
Ooh. Dingus. Yeah, it's quite similar. It's not overly sour, but it's quite close to an exceptionally tart apple with citric acid put on it, so it's good. No, it wasn't due to daily drawdown or daily loss limit. You're not allowed to hold trades into the weekend, Cosmo. And I accidentally had a trade held into the weekend because I wasn't paying attention. I walked away to go shower and came back, realized, oh, it's 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday night. Okay.
And they wouldn't even make an exception since you're killing it? I mean, I would have negotiated with them. Like,
I don't really care.
Clearly. Oh, I guess so, because you're into another.
To be candid, I already received a month's worth of payouts, and it's $4,000 per account or $2,000 every 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah, you're good with it. You don't need that money anyway. You got 43. Let's see. This could get down to like 41. I want to say 41.75 or something. Can't believe it's still downloading. Oh, is it because this one didn't? Oh, maybe. Yeah. Is there a reason why it's crude oil on one of them, or is that?
Oh, you can change it to whatever you want. It doesn't matter at all.
Okay. I don't know if it's down one or there's some issues. It's symbol. What?
It's the symbol. That's the issue.
Yeah, I thought I changed it correctly. Let me just double check that. Yeah, that's correct.
So as I was saying, the quote unquote blue lines are obviously going to be longs, red lines are going to be shorts. And as you're probably already seeing, there may be some pretty good positive expectancy to this because this is also going into Globex session as well. If you only put it on RTH, it probably is going to be a bit better. But yeah, so I thought you may appreciate this because this would give, you can then have, actually the alert conditions already in there. So if you turned on your alert conditions, you could have it set up where whenever one of these is fulfilled, you now have an alert condition set up to take a long, take a short, or whatever.
I appreciate either way.
And if you hold on one moment, I'll answer Bellasaurus. Oh no, I didn't receive the money left over in the accounts. I hadn't exceeded the 3-month period where you're able to withdraw more than the fixed amount because they require 3 months of a fixed number of payouts before you can then withdraw a larger amount. And then, in terms of capital flow, the way I think you could pretty easily integrate capital flow into this as a confluence is, we had discussed this, look at the notional value of contracts. And if you want it to be really easy, take the notional value, close notional value, put it on a moving average. And if, let's say, you're at a lower low on ES and you have a long signal, you would then probably want to see bonds pulling back a bit as well if you're going long on ES. And so if the notional value is under a 50-period moving average, you now have dual confirmation of, okay, capital flow is indicating the notional value of the bonds is decreasing, and I have a long signal on ES. And you could then begin adding in additional symbols for your capital flow solely based on the notional value of a contract.
This looks pretty sick right now. What are the vertical blue lines you said? Sorry.
That would be a long signal.
Okay.
Or the vertical blue lines? Yeah, that would be a long signal.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Bam. Bam. This one, maybe not. How'd you code this shit so fast, man? What the hell?
It would have been far faster to do in Python, but I simply just put it into alert conditions in Sierra chart.
Um, if we hit 3920 Barcelona, I'm gonna win. What? I don't. Is that inside joke? This might turn out to be just an inside day. On the RTH sector. Or I should say not inside day, small day. Numbers, I sent you a message, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll probably start writing around 12:45, 12:30, 12:45, 1-ish, sometime around that. So yeah, I should have time because I'm at the point where I'm really waiting for the third API to connect. That's my life at the moment.
Sweet.
Um,
Dude, you must be super excited with the with what's going on.
what's the? Let me check something. Okay.
We just tested yesterday's low and bounced off of it from the upside. Sorry, go ahead. Numbers.
Let's just say the numbers are not too far off from what he who shall not be named is claiming.
Wow. Really?
I'll message.
So you'll actually be him. That was your goal. Same size or same results?
Not same size, at least initially.
Okay. Which is actually better because it's smaller size yet same results.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Fuck. Good stuff. That's a good one, Hardy. Is that Conan or Hercules? I think he played both, no?
No, just Hercules. But I think this is that.
Robin Hood episode?
No. What's the guy? He had like a chainsaw, Fear of the Dead or something like that. Walking Dead. It's
Fear of the Walking Dead?
no. It's like old, and the guy had a chainsaw for a hand.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, I gotta look that up. A while ago.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh, Freddy Krueger had blade. Not even look like Freddy Krueger. Come on. There it is here. It's Evil Dead. Oh no, sorry, Army of Darkness. Wait. I don't know if that's Army.
I have no clue.
Army of Darkness is like got a cult following. Cheesy shit. Old style.
Anyone in anything? Oh, let's do a trade check. Type in number of trades you've done today.
11.
Huh? I need to count. I again traded quite a bit today, actually. See.
Is that like 6 stabs in the same spot, Sully?
Numbers keeps on saying 000, but in like next week he's gonna be like 1,000.
60.
No, I'm on most instruments. So this is what's amusing. I'm restricted to only trading on most assets only about an hour and a half, or sorry, in total, about an hour and a half to 2 hours per instrument.
Why? Because of the system or
because of how everything is structured with volatility? When you often have a dampening of volatility in the markets, that really restricts the amount of trading for entries to about a 2-hour period.
Oh, I see.
And when I say a 2-hour period, there are 4 30-minute time horizons in which you can enter trades. The market exposure may be longer than 1.5 hours. However, the time in market may be longer than 1.5 hours, but over the course of a trading day, you're going to have about 1.5 hours where you are quote unquote allowed to make a trade per se. Anything outside of that hour and a half, if a trade signal occurs during said time, you're not going to be entered.
Oh, okay.
Last night when we were running, or the past 2 days when we've been running on micros as a trial, we came across, we're not trading Globex. We came across another bug. Which,
I thought you said you fixed it and it was.
So yesterday, 2 days ago, we found one, corrected it. Turns out the way it was structured, our strategy was quote unquote double dipping. So instead of taking one trade, I was actually recording it as 2 trades. Therefore, our P&L was doubled for the same time period. But the reason why that's good is all that's indicative is, okay, increase the size to 2 contracts versus 1 contract. And actually in the process, due to factors of slippage, our drawdown is actually less, and our win percentage went up slightly.
So it was a good bug.
Yes.
Bill Sears had a question for you.
Oh yeah,
hey, man, that's pretty good. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I said to him, it's you may have more than 1.5 hours in market, but there is 90 minutes of time throughout the trading day in which you can enter a position. And it's only during RTH. Because if we want to trade Globex, it's going to be FESX, DAX, and Bund, which we're going to expand into that after probably 2-3 weeks. It's not necessarily 1/6 of the time. It's a bit more complicated than that. There are quite a few days where we might not even have a trade signal. The beauty is, if the market is drifting up the entire day and we don't catch the low of day or high of day initially before they drift up or drift down, we're not going to be in a position at all. We're not continuously trying to short the high or the low. if there isn't a volatility contraction and a threshold isn't achieved, that if when we drift up continuously or drift down, there's nearly non-existent volatility. It's just a continuous drift. And because of that, you're never going to achieve a threshold necessary for an entry condition. I forwarded a recommendation to Retro for 2 places in LA to try.
Where?
There was the fish place I discussed with you yesterday or last week that specializes in dry aged fish.
Yep.
And then one of the bakeries, which I've been there 3 times. Let me post the link. Probably some of the best dough lamination. My friends in Denver do it better, but also, if something doesn't work out with this, I actually may end up working with a power trading firm as a desk head. So, because
really,
because this is my life's work, and if for some reason this doesn't pan out, I'm probably going to go say fuck it, take the generous compensation, and go learn about something new. But the probability of that happening, fuck trading discretionarily. The amount of stress that had carried in the past for me. Oh, geez. It would be Friday or Saturday. Since I've transitioned entirely to pretty much automated with minimal discretionary, I'm not tired on weekends anymore. Well, okay, I'm chronically fatigued. But when I was predominantly trading discretionarily, all I'd want to do is sleep on the couch and really do nothing besides work out and sleep. I actually now have a bit more energy because I'm not nearly as stressed. The stress is predominantly subliminal. Most people don't realize that, particularly in trading if you're predominantly discretionary, the accumulated subliminal stress is bad.
Yeah.
You're drained once you step away from screens. You don't have energy to do all too much else. Yesterday, I averaged nearly 300 watts for 2 hours. I could have held that for 3 hours, and I hopped off the bike and felt great. This is the place, 0. And
Let's see.
oh, what do you mean by a risky moment? Wait, what? Huh? Close the size. I'm very confused. Cosmo, do you have a reasonably good understanding of calculus as a whole? Yeah, I never said anything about size. I said 300 watts. Okay. You misheard me. You thought I said lots. I said 300 watts for cycling yesterday. 300 watts. Okay. I was very confused. I was thinking watts. Oh, that sounds like lots. Yeah. 300 watts for about 2.5, 3 hours yesterday. Returning to what I was saying, for some reason this doesn't work out. This is practically my life's work, and I don't have much interest in continuing with arguably the unsustainable aspect of the stress associated with some of the discretionary components in mishandling of trades, even though it's still quite profitable. My interest, I would like to learn about other things, and no, the market, no, I would disagree. It's not moving on to other stuff at all. It's still remaining in the industry because I've had offers to go work as a PM at power trading firms as well as traditional funds. If all goes as planned, I'm still going to be exploring new avenues. If it doesn't go as planned, I'm still probably going to explore new avenues, but through slightly different means. Power trading markets are absolutely fascinating. That's a very deep rabbit hole. The compensation is absolutely outrageous. And in the process, you're learning about something completely new and foreign because the markets are entirely nonlinear, almost Galilean, with how it's modeled. So that's why I specifically referred to power trading markets as the compensation packages are exceedingly generous, and you're learning about something entirely new because it deviates drastically from how traditional markets are modeled, traditional financial markets, the wild west of trading. Thus, either way, it's achieving what I want of other outlets to explore whether or not something goes awry or if it goes as planned. In all candor, even if it goes as planned, I'm not opposed to saying, oh, maybe I'll go work for one of the power trading firms because I'm still allowed to trade my own accounts since there's no SEC violations working at a power trading firm. There are two components to power trading, Sully. The first and foremost being the spot electricity markets. And then there is wholesale, so day-ahead futures or day-ahead futures where you're purchasing the right to electricity. There are only specific firms which are allowed to participate in the wholesale electricity space. But when I say it's the Wild West, is several days a year, you're seeing returns of 8,000 or 9,000% on your positions. So most of the modeling in power trading, there are three main components. First, you're modeling the actual physics of power lines, the generation, the thermodynamics of it, the thermodynamics of those lines. Then there is the weather. Then there's the actual fundamentals. There are three large components to it. You can't front run a power company. Correction. About 10 days, when I say power companies, there's about 10 or 15 days a year where power trading firms make their money. The rest of the year, they lose a little bit, they make a little bit of money. 15 days a year, utilities are hemorrhaging, and that's when the power trading firms capitalize on it. It's the 10 or 15 days a year that the utilities hemorrhage money. Here's an example. Let's take, Trying to think of a good example. Okay, I'll probably use this.
52. All right, guys, I just exited my trade at 52.25. Cosmo and I were both long. Well, I was long from 28, but I decided to just take it off right now. But yeah, anyways, I'll be back, guys. I'm gonna get some air.
Or it's, do you want a concrete example or no? Because I'll provide a pretty explicit concrete example of where you would make your money. Okay. So let's say on, I'm trying to think of what relates to most people. Let's say you're looking at California ISO, which is California's power grid. And on a fundamental, you have a fundamental thesis. This is a not day ahead. This would be month ahead or quarterlies where they are priced. These are for the longer term trades. And then I'll give a short term example. Let's say there's a new power plant coming online. And that new power plant coming online, they are improving the lines in the area to facilitate the increase in power. So you go from lines that are capable of supporting 100 megawatts to, let's say, 400 megawatts. And then you look at the pricing model, and the pricing model isn't actually accounting for that increase in supply. So it is the mispricing in the wholesale market. Therefore, you would place a bid at a specific price, look for that bid to clear, and you're then shorting the market. Or it's a directional market. It's long short, and the long short is based on from where you're buying power or selling power. If one area is going to be generating excess electricity and it's not being priced in, you would want to, quote unquote, be short that market. And so you would be a net seller, and you would facilitate that net selling thesis through placing bids in other regions to then provide power. So you would be the rightful owner of, let's say, 200 megawatts of excess generation. And then you would be selling that excess generation when others potentially need it. But on a shorter term time horizon, you don't actually short. You buy or sell the your directional bias of power. And now let's go to Texas. A couple of the firms with whom I had interviewed and known in the past, almost all of them were involved in Texas. You have your meteorologists. Most of them have teams of about 20 to 30 PhD meteorologists assisting with weather modeling. But they saw mispricing in Texas based on the meteorologists' predictions, and weather is exceedingly tough to predict accurately more than 3 days in advance. But anyhow, they saw mispricing in it based on the expected weather patterns, and they knew the grid could not accommodate lower temperatures, or you would have critical mass failures. And this is where it becomes the Wild West. Pricing was slightly elevated due to the participation of wholesale traders in the market, but they placed bids slightly above the normalized price. So $9, I think they had their bids cleared about $41, $42 per megawatt, with the expectation of this was coming from a different grid. So if they believe prices are going to spike and the grid is going to almost go shut offline, you would want to buy power in another location. So let's say MISO, which is the Midwest ISO market. And when you purchase at MISO, you then have the rights to potentially send supply. There are about 50,000 different nodes in the US. Ultimately, you're trading node to node, but you would purchase energy at MISO and that cleared at $41 per megawatt. And then if your thesis is correct with the grid outage, that number could go to 4,000 per megawatt, since it's the purpose of the utilities to provide power. They need to source that power from somewhere. And when there's a severe grid outage, the premium for electricity increases drastically. And if you're entirely wrong, and let's say there's an underuse of power, you're going to lose a little bit of money because your $40 per megawatt may only now be worth $25 per megawatt. You're selling you're buying and selling excess generation of power, the surplus. But it's a fascinating market. Does the utility company lose money when there are outages? Yeah, they hemorrhage money, but that's about 10 days a year. The other 355 days a year, they're making steady profits, but 10 to 15 days a year, they're hemorrhaging. If there's an outage, a plant outage, they need to be able to source that electricity from somewhere else. And that's where wholesale traders can often come in and capitalize on the mispricing.
Kind of sounds like an insurance kind of scenario. Well, like 1% of the time they're losing big. The
Yes.
99% they're making bank on like just huge volume. Like let's just say it's like anybody says, if I could just get a penny from every single person in the United States, you'd be rich. Right? I mean, so insurance company, yeah, if they make $100 per person, they're going. And then Texas freezes, a windstorm, or got to pay out a bunch of people in the bucket for.
Belisarius, most individuals in the US have fixed pricing. There are some circumstances where contracts are signed. So let's say in the Texas circumstance, yeah, a bunch of that was passed on to some individuals, which was then contested in court. But there were situations in Texas where some individuals on their bill saw 14,000 US dollars per kilowatt hour. Or they had, and that was then passed on to the consumer. But in most circumstances, because of fixed pricing, guaranteed fixed pricing for your utilities, you sign a contract over a certain time horizon. So, okay, it's a 2-year contract with price at set value, for example, in Pennsylvania. And if there's a grid outage, it's the responsibility of the utility to source power from elsewhere.
Have any much
You're cutting in and out, Andrew.
Sure. Have any statistics that tells you how much the power companies cost them to make power? Because Belisarius, that's the cost on. It's like insurance. It's already padded in. Like they don't charge you the bare minimum. They charge you maximum and take that drawdown. To back that up, to know how much it costs them to how much money to the who annually, weekly, just in that sheer fucking what do you call it, the transit cost or delivery fee. Once the pipes are installed and they're paid for, delivery fee of right? The main the poles. It's a pretty complex breakdown of costs.
Bayman.
Don't lose money. Don't lose money, that's for sure.
Bayman, how well do you understand the grid or the actual physics of lines, because they have fundamental traders, which are predominantly evaluating fundamental theses, but a lot of that